Hello, fellow followers, and welcome back to FanZcene. Am I on a little bit of a delay? It felt like I was on a little bit of delay there for a minute. Welcome back to FanZcene. This is the Physical Media Show, and with me tonight, as always, is Runner and Tom from Midnight's Edge After Dark, Midnight's Edge Radio. It's all cool. What's up? Greetings to everybody out there watching. Greetings to everybody that's been hanging in chat while we've been getting things ready. I see Rough Girl TV was here. She says, "What's up? Just swinging by to show some lube. Beat the heat." Okay, cool.
Hail, I think she meant love, but yeah,
I think she meant love too. But lube, hey, it's always on hand.
Well, let's just say love, so we don't get in trouble by YouTube.
Yes, love. Hail, Brian Barth. Random Brad Creator says, "I'll be catching the replay. Have a great show." Thank you for catching the replay, man. I hope you enjoy it when you watch it back. Movies Maniac 96. Hey, welcome. Greetings, Dan Blackroyd. Glad to see you here. And Horror Mike. Greetings. I'm switching over to Roku soon, but I had to say hi. Hi, what's up, Horror Mike? Great guy. You guys check him out on his YouTube channel. He does some really cool stuff. If you guys like pre-code horror comic books. And he makes horror movies too, so he's a great guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And Evening Tyrell 72, glad you're here. Wallow Weem says greetings. Good to have you guys in the chat. It's good to be back tonight. I hope you're ready for some physical media. I have sort of been out of the loop today, so I don't know quite everything that's coming out as I usually do. So bear with me.
Have you guys done a 4K for you, Tom? I wasn't sure.
I don't think we didn't do it. We
didn't do it this week, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because, I didn't see a whole lot of.
There was so many titles last week, and there just wasn't a whole lot this week.
The only stuff I've seen are like confirmed confcept art for stuff that was already announced.
Yeah. I did see that.
I'm scrolling through right now. Monty Python.
The meaning of
Monty
life.
Python's the meaning
a
of
lot
life.
of what we got was just confirmation of stuff we've already.
That we talked about.
Discussed.
I did see we were getting a Blu-ray of Rob Zombie's The Monsters, September 17th, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it's coming straight to streaming
Blu-ray,
anyway.
A Blu-ray release, yeah.
The Blu-rays, yeah. So
and
there's
Scream 2 has an official concept art for just the normal.
There's a Steelbook one too,
yeah.
Well, the Steelbook one was already released beforehand, but the normal type of box set is just the two faces.
Yeah, a lot of the announcements in the last week were re-releases and stuff we had already discussed.
Like The Godfather is getting a released separately for Scream Stream.
I think we'll probably do that around October. We'll figure out a day when the second one releases on 4K,
The Godfather,
which is fairly early in October. So we'll figure out something around October for Halloween and everything, guys. So
and
get ready for the Scream Stream.
All three of the Godfather films are coming Steelbook.
Oh, are they? I know they said they were going to, release them separately.
Yeah, just separately,
yeah, and they're releasing separately with a normal 4K, but the Steelbooks look fucking great. I think it's the same art you get from that that anniversary bundle, the 50th anniversary set that I think Tom has.
Yeah, the little pictures and art stuff they give you.
Yeah, it's basically all that. It's that concept.
The weird one we got that kind of stands out to me was the Rocky collection.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Because for some reason it's coming from Warner, which is odd.
Well, hold on a second. I'm going to show you something.
Runners are in Godfather. I thought that was something else. Okay. But yeah, I know that Warner Brothers, if you watch the newer Rockies.
Creed.
Yeah, if you watch Rocky and Creed, I'll put that back up here in a minute, Renner.
Okay.
When you watch Rocky, the new Rocky and Creed, it does say Warner Brothers before it says MGM. So I wonder if with Amazon buying, I wonder if with Amazon buying MGM, how the rights work. Because I saw that you talked about on, I didn't get to see the stream, but I know Rocky or Stallone wants a piece of Rocky.
Because, yeah, the funky thing is the old deal with when Turner bought all the old catalog, it was all movies that were MGM titles, I believe, up through a specific date, not counting the United Artists and Bond films. Right?
Right.
And Rocky would fall in the United Artist category. That's why for the past however many years, Rocky's been released by MGM still. But I don't know. There could be something they did at some point. I don't know.
It is kind of weird.
I mean, I know I've mentioned Rocky has had a 4K master for a while.
Yes.
I didn't know. I didn't know that. That's why I was surprised.
Yeah, it's had one for a while. Sloan's been teasing it on Instagram here, though.
It's funny. There's always this trend where like I'll like post like some news about.
I got it digitally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, because this happened with Tropic Thunder 2. Like I remember freaking out when that got a 4K release, and I was in the chat, and I'm like, "Holy shit, Tropic Thunder's coming out 4K! I never knew this was going to happen," or something like that. And Tom's just like, "Oh, I'm not surprised. It already has a 4K." And then he does the same with Rocky, and it's like, "Oh, I'm not surprised. It's already been teased. It's got a 4K."
It's been.
No, you see,
once you've been in collecting and known a lot of things and going through the sources for a while, you get it. You pretty much know, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't hear it from somebody, then you can either guess by... The easiest one is there's already a 4K master on digital.
Yeah.
The second easiest way to tell what has a master or not is when they do these Fandango events and stuff like that.
Yeah. Greetings, 6. It says, I got it digitally. That's what she said.
It's about the only way people are getting it.
Yeah.
Also, Argo is getting a steelbook.
Oh,
Argo, fuck yourself.
Brian Barth, I think I've heard of the movie Reds. I can't place it, but I think I've at least heard of it. I don't know if I've seen it.
Warren Beatty film, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it sounds really familiar.
I think he plays a Russian in it.
Oh, well, Reds. But I think that's about the extent of the releases. I know this is the physical media show, but we did get a Halloween Ends trailer. So did anybody here see that?
Yeah, it don't look too shabby.
It looked all right, though. I still have a little bit of questions about that. Like,
of course.
Here's the thing. I still need to watch the other movies. I've still only seen the first one. I'm gonna get to the other ones at some point. No one yell at me or any of that. But yeah. So that's why I haven't seen the trailer, because I haven't seen the other movies.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we did get a. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. I mean, this has nothing. I mean, just because you bring up Halloween Ends or whatever. Mortal Kombat 2 has a director. It's the same one for the first one. Just hoping the writing's much better.
All right.
Because the last one is poo poo. I know Tom liked it and Greg liked it, but I fucking hate it.
Well, if you read the original script, you'd hate it even more, because you'd be like, "Why didn't we get this instead?"
I know. Oh, I know, because I've heard the original idea.
Yeah, so hopefully you're right. Hopefully they pick up. But it's funny because we got asked about it earlier, but I'd been hearing I knew they were moving ahead with a couple of these. So
yeah,
the writer for Moon Knight, I guess, is writing for 2. So it's like, I don't know. Hopefully that's a better choice, because whoever they got to write for the first one does not understand the point of Mortal Kombat.
The original script was good. It was that Adam dude who wrote Wonder Woman 84 and a couple other doozies of the last year who rewrote it.
Oh, Wonder Woman 84 and Shang-Chi.
I think that's the other one he wrote on. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what Script Doctor said. Yeah, that.
Yeah, and this guy, because he went and changed the medallion thing to a tattoo thing or whatever, and he also changed the ending to where Cole actually turned a scorpion instead of some no-name fucking nobody.
Yeah. But yeah,
the tattoo shit is so fucking stupid. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But that's what we have for you guys today. Tom, was there something else you wanted to say about the Halloween thing or something?
I can't remember. There was something else I was going to toss in and I forgot. We got to look at Poltergeist special edition from Zavi, and that includes the same Steelbook is Best Buy's version, so we can probably throw that up quick here.
Oh, yeah. So if you whoever got it, I'll pop it in. Okay. Here we go. It does look pretty cool. I do like. Yeah, the
Steelbook is the same Steelbook that Best Buy is going to have, an exclusive. Yes. So technically, I guess that wouldn't be a Best Buy exclusive, but since Zavvi is not out of the U.S., still haven't got my Red Sonja disc yet, but hey.
Oh, that's right. That came out a little while ago, didn't it?
Well, it technically came out this week, but they shipped it, I think, last week, and it still ain't got here yet, but it's coming from overseas, so. But yeah, this one has the box, kind of like how Arrow does theirs, it looks like, with a book, some lobby cards, 2 posters.
Yeah. Well, Zavvi did buy Arrow, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what happened.
Yep, that is what happened.
I was like, what the hell happened to you guys? Because I've had to cancel almost every one of my orders from them. Because I always end up getting them quicker from somewhere else.
Yeah, Zavvi ended up buying Arrow not too long ago. But
no, you mentioned that. I think you remember you saying that because I was having some issues with that last Arrow order. What movie was that? Dune, I think it was.
Dude, yeah, you're
doing RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop.
And so, because my original one was supposed to come through their original thing, I'm like, what the hell? So. Right.
But hey, hopefully you get your Red Sonja soon. That'd be nice for you to find.
They did Bryant Barth, but I'm going to do some research on that and find out how maybe Warner got their hands on the Rocky franchise. But yeah, we had an interesting conversation about the whole deal this week on Mead because Rocky or Rambo, oh, Jesus Christ. Sly was talking about getting the Rocky rights or some kind of piece of the Rocky rights, which he technically can, as far as I know, under the 35-year rule. So, yeah. And that was put in place in 1976, the year the movie came out. So
it's true, and like I said, like we know there's a 4K master, but he has been teasing it on his Instagram, and there was a scene. I think it was from the first Rocky. He said, think I might put this in the 4K set or whatever. So he definitely has some kind of involvement in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just did. I'm pretty sure this new edition is going to have his new version of Rocky 4 in it.
Yeah, it's going to have Rocky 4.
That's probably one of the main selling points of this.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't too much to go on, so it's a bunch of confirmation about a lot of stuff we talked about.
A lot of confirmations, yeah.
The Poltergeist Steelbook looks pretty cool. I'm excited to see how Halloween ends. Hopefully they can stick the landing.
We have to actually go to theaters to see this one, I think.
Yes. So that's a selling point. So hopefully they make it worth it this time around. Okay, so Runner said he'd BRB. Tom, you want to go ahead and go first?
I'm back. I'm back.
If he wants to go first, otherwise I can. It don't matter.
Right. You want to go first, Runner?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's see.
I'm trying to figure out the order of how I'm going to share these anyway.
I know.
I got to figure out the order too, honestly. I'll start with this one. Everyone's seen this movie. I know Greg's probably going to joke that he didn't. Like always.
Never seen it.
Exactly. You're always going to fucking say that when I say that. See,
it's
I know
jokes,
you.
Man, I got dad jokes.
I seen it on an airplane while I was pregnant and having a baby, so I didn't really catch it all.
I could see that happening. No, I'm kidding. It's a good movie. I honestly, this sequel honestly gets hate sometimes, and
I hate it.
See,
a sequel getting hate? Oh my
never.
God.
But it's actually good. Like some people are fucking stupid as shit. That's the problem.
I gotta see what this is because I want to see it. I actually hate it.
I think you like it, Greg. In all seriousness, if I told you what this is, and this is a Steelbook.
That's what you're supposed to be doing, telling us what it is.
Well, I'm building it up. Damn it! No,
that's what
no,
Shay's like.
No, not that movie.
Shay's like, I'm building it up.
She said, building it up.
This movie is way better than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I like that Steelbook.
Yeah, I do like this. I do like Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
I know it gets hate, but I do like it.
That's what I was.
You
saying.
Don't call him Dr. Jones, Dow.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is like one of the most like underrated sequels ever.
Indy.
I remember like the last time I watched this, I watched like parts of it on 4K just to see how it looks. It looks pretty good.
You should have brought it last week when I brought Everything Everywhere All at Once or whatever. Because
it would have matched with
No, this just got released this week.
Yeah,
the Steelbook, so I couldn't do that.
She's a little annoying in the movie, but I still like the movie.
She's the worst aspect.
Yeah, she really is.
That's the love interest, right?
And that's saying a lot considering Kathleen Kennedy's in that movie.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie though, she was hot as fuck.
Kathleen Kennedy?
No, oh God, no, not Kathleen Kennedy.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
And I don't know about the Kate Capshaw being
like Dan Black, right? I'm not in it enough.
Yeah, you're only in it for one damn scene, Dan Blackroyd. So far away, most people can't even tell it's you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Sorry,
people always forget that Dan Aykroyd has like 2 lines in the whole movie. Yeah.
Yep. Short round though is the best fucking part.
You cheat. What's this? You're cheating too. Yeah, but you big. When you cheat, it cheat big. When I cheat, it's small. Small cheat.
It is good. I do like it. Kalima. It's a great flick. I can get why some people gave it hate, considering it's actually a prequel.
When it came out, it was very dark and
it was a lot darker than the first one, and
yeah.
As a kid, though, growing up, that was my favorite one. It kind of still is. I mean, I watch it with knowing, like, as far as story-wise, technical-wise, all those kind of things, the second one is the least of the bunch as far as the first 3, but
I'll be honest with you.
Personally, I like it best.
When I was younger, that was my favorite, honestly. Like Temple of Doom. When I was younger, just because it had so much, like...
It reminds me of Back to the Future, too.
It does a little bit. I think it's
kind of like how, some people don't really like the second one, but then other people are just like, "What? It's amazing!" You know,
right? Yeah. Exactly. I like Back to the Future too. I like all 3 of those movies, but the first one's like the best.
When I was growing up, 2 was the oddball, right? Like, I don't know if this was like, at least from what I noticed growing up, like most people didn't like the second one. Otherwise, they loved part 1 and 3.
Yeah.
So like, that second one though, it's kind of the same thing with Indiana Jones. Most people were the same way, and I just could never understand why. Yeah, I mean, now as an adult, I do, but also now we're adults, so now we're the ones out there saying, no, it has a lot more to offer than you think.
I mean, honestly, I think most people like the third one the best, Indiana Jones-wise.
It's usually a battle between the first one and the third one, yes. Like, it's either you're a Raiders fan or you're a Last Crusade fan, generally.
I'm more of a Raiders guy, and I like Sean Connery. I just like that first one so much. And the third one's fucking great, and it has like one of the greatest like endings to a trilogy. I just enjoy all 3
of them, man. It's a really great trilogy.
Me too. Yeah, I mean it's really tough, but
and Indiana Jones, as far as I'm concerned, is a trilogy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I mean, I see you've gotten all the steelbooks, and we did talk last week on 4K for you that
I just need to get
Kingdom of the Crystal whatever Skull is coming out on steelbook soon.
Yep. Nope. I'm gonna pass on that.
But it's not aliens, it's interdimensional beings.
Yeah, from the world in between the worlds.
From the world in between the worlds.
I saw that movie for the first time like sometime last year.
There's a Star Wars connection, you didn't even know
it. I only saw it once just to see if it's as bad as some people said it is, and then that third act happens, and it's like, and like literally.
Oh no, that whole movie's bad.
Oh, I wouldn't say the whole movie's bad.
Oh, no, it's bad. It's bad. Trust me, it's bad. From the moment it jumps the fucking fridge, it's bad.
Yeah.
Or nukes the fridge, I mean. That's where the movie goes completely off the rails, and it does not ever come back on. It just continues to fall off from there. By the time you get to the end of the movie, if it was a vehicle, there would be nothing left but the radio and a chassis.
It's true.
No, okay, the fridge... The fridge was the start, Tom, but then...
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. I'm saying the very beginning. Like
the first 5 minutes are great.
Yeah, and then after that,
I'm just saying. Like, listen to me. I'm saying like the very beginning felt very Indiana Jones-esque, but then the fridge scene is the beginning of it. Then later on, you get Shia fucking LaBeouf swinging with monkeys with CGI vines. and then you get to this whole. It's horrible. And then you get to this whole part where it's like there's this alien skull thing, and then like you get to the scene where the CGI alien like comes right up close to you.
It's all bad.
And then a UFO just like pops out.
It's not a UFO. It's an interdimensional traveling machine.
I don't give a fuck.
Southern Viking says, from what I recall, when the movie came out, Spielberg responded to critics calling out the violence for saying it's not called Temple of Roses. I do like that.
You know, here's the thing. Like, what was I going to say? Like, some people defend the fourth movie by saying, "Oh, it's." I don't know. I know a few people.
Who are these people, and why are they allowed to exist?
Exactly.
I'll tell you this. One of them's Justin Proper.
Oh Lord, that makes sense.
Because people like him like defend it. Angela Straven's another one too. But like I've had this discussion with them. Like they defend it because like, oh well, part 2 had dumb shit in it too. It's like, you know, at least the second one was fun.
The dumb shit was at least cool. All right.
Exactly.
There's a difference there. You got somebody ripping the hearts out. That's fucking cool.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's the argument they come up with is like, oh well, if you don't like him, like, you know, surviving through a fridge, then how do you explain ripping out the heart? It's like, at least the Kalima shit was awesome. You know that. Yes. You know what? Like
the ripping out the heart is much more explainable than him surviving a nuclear in a fridge.
And a lot of times that shit was put on like a show. Like they knew how, like they would use fake hearts. Like, I mean, again, I'm not saying that's what happened in the movie. That's the whole point. Is they're saying
they can actually do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. I was just like how can you like this movie? Honestly, like the fourth one.
That movie, it goes against everything that Indiana Jones stands for. Because even the same argument can be applied a little bit to Temple of Doom, but at least with Temple of Doom, it's still earthbound religion, right? Because that's the problem I have with the fourth film. Once you introduce the fourth film into the whole mix, it makes none of the other movies make sense. Because there's a big problem with trying to combine God and aliens and
science and religion.
And that's kind of the whole point of Indiana Jones in the first 3 films, is that he is an atheist who ends up discovering 2 of the most important Catholic or Christian, let's say not Catholic, but Christian relics, thank you, is a better way to put it. You know, and then also the Indian stones, which are real. Like, I mean, they're based on real things. So they're all earthbound religions. Then you get to the fourth film where it already introduces aliens as a joke in the beginning of the movie. Right? So they double down on that with the interdimensional shit. So it goes against it twice. And you're like, wait, at least I could accept it as a ha-ha funny joke in the beginning of the movie, that the same place that all this time has been that had the Ark in it and stuff like that was Area 51. That's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I can get behind that. I can get behind, you know, Indiana Jones would be well aware of, you know, the whole aliens in the 50s. When it loses me is when it decides to make him a spy. Indiana Jones wouldn't fucking do that. That's just Spielberg trying to interject a little bit of 007 in there, and that didn't work. That fourth film is everybody trying to do everything they want and nobody really paying attention to what it does to the overall.
Yeah, they just didn't care about the lore and everything.
Yeah, exactly. George wanted to tell this stupid story with aliens, and Steven didn't really want to. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know if Steven really wanted to make a movie in general as far as India. Like,
I think he kind of just did it because, like, maybe Lucas asked him, and he didn't really want to, so he kind of just.
And he didn't want nobody else directing an Indiana Jones movie. Yeah. I think the bigger thing.
I mean, when you watch the movie, you can kind of tell, like, Steven Spielberg, I bet, was like, yeah.
That's kind of the point where I say Spielberg is not Spielberg anymore after that. That's really kind of one of the main turning points.
I agree 100%. Like,
I mean, even as much as I don't like some of the movies before that, but yeah.
Like, no, because I've had to explain the whole Spielberg thing to my mom. Like I told her, like, the shit, like, he directs now, it's shit compared to what he did before. And then my mom's like, oh, well, that's just your opinion. It's like, no, most people would agree with me, is my point. Is like compare the shit he does now to fucking Jaws.
Yep. Well, not only that,
it's like no one can argue with me on that.
Well, he just his heart wasn't in it, right?
No,
and that's kind of what a lot of his films since then have felt like. Is he's just kind of going through the motions. It's almost like he directed Ready Player One because who else is going to direct it? Right. You know, like
I only saw that. I only saw that once in the theater, and I didn't even like. I mean, I knew it was directed by Steven Spielberg, but like while I was watching,
it feels like the most self-flagellation I've ever seen amongst a director, and I've seen a lot of self-flagellation. You know, and it comes off in such a weird, crass way. It's not even like they're sitting there watching themselves naked, jerking off. It's more like they're actually jerking off on your thigh or something, you know, that creepy shit. Just kind of weird shit. Just oddball, off the wall. Like, why is Steven Spielberg directing a movie that is clearly inspired by Steven Spielberg?
Because
like it shouldn't fit.
Steven Spielberg.
It's like it feels like a J.J. Abrams movie. What the fuck am I watching here? This just doesn't make no sense. I just some young guy who's clearly inspired by Steven Spielberg should have directed Ready Player One.
Definitely.
But no, Steven has not had a good movie since I can remember. Catch Me If You Can is probably his last genuinely good movie, if you ask me. And that's probably the least of the Spielberg movies of all the movies he made, too. If you really look at it.
War of the Worlds. So
that was another one I hold him to task for. Because War of the Worlds, if you like it or not, doesn't matter. He went against something he said a long time ago. He said after E.T., he would never make another movie where aliens were bad. And in fact, he was kind of in the vein of never making a movie about aliens again.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, I kind of made the two quintessential alien movies. Where can you go from there?
Right.
That's why he was always resistant to do a sequel to E.T. He's like, E.T.'s already a sequel to Close Encounters. Really?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So he's like, there's nowhere else to go. He's like, it's just you'll be repeating. I'll be repeating myself, is all he said. Right. So he goes, I've said all I had to say about the intergalactic stuff, you know, like he's like, I'm done with that. And then the next thing you know, he does fucking War of the Worlds, which is against everything he said. Because he said he'd never make a movie where the aliens are the bad guys, and he wouldn't do another alien movie again, and he did both. And to me, that was like, I was kind of pissy with him after that one. I did not like that movie either. It didn't help that I didn't like the movie, but it wasn't a bad movie either. It's just not good.
Right.
And I thought, and like the last time I was at Best Buy, I know I'm bringing up Best Buy, but I thought about getting.
I didn't clip it. Fuck your Best Buy. I needed to clip that from last
your
week.
Best Buy.
No, because like I thought about getting War of the Worlds on 4K because it's like cheap, but like I might get it some other time. Just because.
I haven't yet either. That's what I've kind of been resistant to.
I mean, it's been at my Best Buy for a while.
Before we go on to Tom's last thing on Indiana Jones, here is Brian Barth wants to know, why did Spielberg leave Indiana Jones 5?
I forgot.
Nobody really knows why. I'm sure the truth lies somewhere between Kathleen Kennedy and Disney.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It probably has something to do about Kathleen Kennedy. That's my guess.
Guaranteed.
And listen, when I heard James Mangold was gonna do it, I was like, huh, that's he's a pretty good director. And then he like started shitting on the fans. So I'm like,
the other thing is, I don't know how much George really has to do with it at all, outside of name only. So chances are, Steven's like, if George is not going to be a major part of this, then why should I be here? That could have been another reason. He could have been just like, I mean, I never heard a specific reason why. All I know is he was attached. Next thing you know, he's not. And then Mangold is. And this is, to me, feels like it's a makeup for Mangold not getting to do Boba Fett. So it's
possibly so.
And then Mangold went and made an ass of himself online, so that did not help the situation.
Yeah.
No.
All he had to do was keep his mouth shut and wait till the movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Because all he had to do was make a movie that was better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. He didn't have to make a Indiana Jones movie that was as good as the first three. Nobody expected that. He just had to make one that was decent.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, he should just shut his mouth and make a better movie. Yeah, exactly.
He's got to make a better, as good a movie as the first three Indiana Jones movies, or he's never going to be able to live it down.
Exactly. And I don't think he's going to. I really don't think he's going to make it.
honestly, I have a feeling that that Indiana Jones 5 is gonna be the Scream 5 of the franchise. Like I'm
something like that.
Yeah, I have a dead like feeling like that's gonna happen.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge is worse than anything Shia LaBeouf could have done.
Well, Shia LaBeouf's actually a good actor if you give him a good script.
That's what I'm saying. I can at least deal with him.
Like,
right?
Like, yeah, but, he was great in Fury.
Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
The problem with, here's the thing I have, and this, I can't believe I'm going to say this. You could have made Mutt a better character, but in one way and one way only. You make him the exact opposite of what his dad is. That's the problem. They made him too cool for school.
Right.
You got Shia LaBeouf, one of the dorky, he plays dorks amazingly.
He plays very well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he should have been everything his father is not, so that you have that, whole thing of, like, when he does realize, like, how the hell can you be my kid? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
We got to teach you some shit. Because that's the whole thing is. And then by the end of the film, of course, he earns that, right? Like, that's what he didn't get. Shia is kind of a Mary Stu in a way. Or Gary Stu, or whatever you want to call him.
Stu, whatever you call
because he does not really have any growth in the film. He's just kind of the same character at the end that he is in the beginning. The only difference in the movie is that he finds out Indiana Jones is his dad. That's the only difference in the character by the end of the movie.
Right. I mean, seriously, if they would have made him like really extremely nerdy and everything,
exactly, yeah,
I think it probably would have been worked out a lot better.
You got my brains, but you didn't get nothing else.
Yeah, he's very timid and scared, and maybe he can't fight or something. Yeah,
even better yet is like when his dad's like, "Oh, snakes! Why did it have to be snakes?" He goes over, "Oh, I love the snakes."
Oh yeah, you can like play with them. Did you know that snakes have?
Yeah,
that could have worked.
Why are you holding it?
But
yeah, that would have been cool.
That's what I mean. You could have had fun with that, right? Like,
you totally. I mean, that's a trope that's worked in movies for years. Is like you have the really cool badass dad, and then you have the son that is like this extreme nerdy, complete opposite, and they don't get along.
It worked in Shaft.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, by the end of the movie, they've taught each other how to work it out.
Yeah, he taught him how to be a better father, and then he taught him how to be a better man. It's like, yeah, that's all you had to do. That'd have been a much better movie, but no, now we're going to get stuck with Indiana Jones's adopted daughter taking over.
Yeah, that's going to be worse.
And that's what sucks. It's like James Mangold, he had a good thing going for him. He did Logan, which, I mean, I know some people don't like it. I think the majority
he's a veteran director. He's been around for a while. It's not like he's some young buck up and coming.
No, exactly. But like, he also did Ford v Ferrari, which I thought was fucking fantastic. It's probably one of the better like recent movies to come out.
Yeah, it was pretty decent.
Along with like the Northman and shit, I would say.
Yeah.
But speaking of Shaft,
yes,
should I go next?
Yes, let's go on to Tom. What do you have?
I have one more of the original Shaft trilogy to go through, as I promised.
Nice.
Shaft in Africa. And this is probably the worst of the original films.
Oh.
It's not bad by any means. It's just they're trying to really do this 007 thing with Shaft, and Shaft works.
Third movie?
Yeah, Shaft works best in his original element, of course. As a PI on the streets
in New York.
Is it New York? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's New York. Because by the time, because here they're shipping him off to Africa and got him undercover in some slave trade deal, and it's all right, but it's kind of like, this is what you come up with after the first two? Because the first two are really good. This one's really kind of a disappointment. But overall, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a horrible movie, but it does. It just kind of feels like they're trying to make Shaft into
They got a little bit of that sequelitis where they were trying to make it a sequel, but let's go in a different direction.
No, you still feel like it's a Shaft movie to a point. I mean, but just look at the cover. Like I said, they're really definitely going in that 007. Like, because there's like tons of women and shit. There's only like 2 or 3 women in the whole fucking movie.
They got like massive amounts on the cover.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's like images of him on a camel and shooting a machine gun, and it's all like he's in bed with chicks, and it's very, very, very 007 looking. So they're very, very like trying to, they don't really quite give him like gadgets and shit, but they have like this thing where he's like, you have no guns, nothing but a camera and a stick. Right, that's all you got to go in with, and if you get in trouble, you get in trouble, So he's got to find a way to smuggle guns and do all these things, and work his way up and be like the head of the slaves and stuff like that, so he can get a few privileges, so he can work it all out and figure out who's behind it all. And it's, it's all right, but it just
right.
It was really a step down. I can't wait to get back into the newer ones, but I have some TV movies to get through before then.
Oh, I think like 7 of them. TV movies? I did not know that.
Yeah, because actually this film has the original director left.
Oh,
although
really?
Richard Roundtree is in it. He was not too happy with I don't know if it had something to do with this film or something that happened on the second film, but then the original director came back for the TV, what was going to be a TV series, and Richard Roundtree did too, and so did Isaac Toon. So that part is all back, and that is part of this TV movie collection, which was them trying to kick off a TV series out of it, but it just never took off. And it was part of these movies where they would flip off. If I remember right, I can't remember if it was the $6 Million Man might have been another one that was a part of this, if I'm mistaken, but it's a similar thing anyway, if it wasn't, to where, they had different movies every week.
Yeah, like when the $6 Million Man married the Bionic Woman and they had kids.
And Bionic Woman and all that kind of shit. Yeah, same kind of thing. So, there's I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies. And they run about just over an hour a piece. So they're a little bit longer than a TV episode, basically. And they're obviously toned down. I only watched a little bit of. This is a really poor scan. Okay. It's an archive collection release, and it looks like it's off a videotape, even though they were on film originally. And not only that, it's MOD.
Hey, funny you bring that up. I might have one of those tonight myself.
So yeah, the next time I talk about Shaft, I got to get through all these. And then the newer movies. So
there you go.
So there you go. There's my Shaft journey for now. Phrasing.
I'm still wanting to get to the first one, the second one, because I've heard they were so good. So
I've almost been wanting to watch the first. I just haven't had the time, but I'm like, I want to watch that first one again.
It's nice. I've been meaning to get to it too, man, because I vaguely remember the first one at all, so I would like to get it and rewatch it in the second one. And the only other one I've seen was the first Samuel L. Jackson Shaft movie. I haven't seen the second one.
Yeah, I've only seen the original Shaft, or the 2000 Shaft movie when it first came out. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for it back then. But I'm curious if I'll feel differently now about it than then.
Now that you've gone through all the Shafts.
Yes.
Now that Tom has gotten
such
the
a
shaft.
Slut. I went through all the shafts.
He said slut.
You said slut. So yeah, it's been a journey so far, and we'll continue this journey. I don't know if I'm going to do it right away, but I'm in the middle of another journey that we'll talk about here in this show.
Nice. All right.
Your turn.
Good. My turn. Okay. This movie stars Henry Cavill as I figured I'd grab this since we've talked a little bit about
there's
backstage.
A lot of talk about Cavill today. I noticed.
Henry Cavill may be returning to Superman. But this movie is called Night Hunter, starring Henry Cavill, Alexander Daddario, Ben Kingsley, Stanley Tucci. It's an all right movie. It's not the
best movie. That's a hell of a cast, though.
Yeah, it's got a really great cast to it. It's a little slow. It's not the best movie I've ever seen.
So you wouldn't recommend it to me or anything?
You might. It depends on how you feel about psychological thrillers, because it's a psychological thriller, and it's. I don't think this was ever actually in theaters.
Yeah,
if it was, it was limited. It was limited release.
Well, I've never heard of it, so.
But essentially, Henry Cavill is a police detective who's really beat. He's tries to play the beat down police detective. Like you see in most movies. And he's got a daughter, and there's a guy going around killing women. And Ben Kingsley had lost his daughter, and he has found a girl, and they go around getting sexual predators and cutting their balls off. And so essentially the girl that he's took on as a surrogate daughter to help take out these men gets kidnapped by this serial killer. So they have to turn Henry Cavill into police, and it's like a very psychological hunt. And Alexandria Daddario is like a police psychologist, and she's trying to help with trying to figure out, or like who this guy is, what he wants, and what's everything's going on. So it's kind of movie like that. Like I said, it's not the best movie I've ever seen. It's a little slow. It has moments. It has a great cast, and it feels like a lot of the cast is a little bit underused in roles where they could have just phoned it in, but they try to do what they can. So it's not too bad. If you want to check it out, go ahead. If you don't, it's all right. So there you have it. But
sick burn. That's why I just wrote that in the private chat too. I copy and pasted it, and I'm like, oh man, sick burn on Snyder.
But I would like to see Henry Cavill return in a Superman movie. That would be nice as long as it's a good Superman movie. But yeah, if you're looking for a Henry Cavill fix, something that's a bit dark and gritty, and like I said, psychological. I'm not going to spoil the twist. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it as a twist ending, but it does have a bit of a twist ending. So, check it out if you like a good psychological thriller mystery type movie. Well, I wouldn't say too good, but it's
confirmed. Greg like his end twisted.
By the way, Blackheart, to answer your question, yes, he did play Superman.
I think Victor Von Taine
in Justice League. Oh
no.
That's the closest he ever did come to Superman, though.
No, I'd argue the Snyder Cut was the closest.
He wakes up and he kicks somebody.
No.
What else did he do?
Okay, the interaction with, his mom and Lois in the farm, like that was very Superman. I'm sorry. And him kicking ass later on was fucking great. Like that was all Superman to me. Like the Superman you got in Justice League was too shoehorned in. I understand why you'd think that, because it's like they tried to do the Donner version, of course, with trying to shoehorn in the John Williams theme, which is honestly lazy as shit in my opinion. That you'd even do that.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It actually has to do with the fact that he's not emo moper man in the Joss Whedon version. He actually shows up and he's got like a few Superman-y moments. And actually, there's more Superman in that Flash bit at the end than there is in all the rest of the movie, where him and Flash are going to race. Yeah.
Victor Fontaine says he just went to Zavvi and the Poltergeist 4K Ultimate Collection.
I noticed. I'm
already
pissed.
Sold out.
Because I've been like sitting on the fence on that. Damn it.
So that sucks. That's for anybody wanting to get that from Zavvi.
So I'm like, do I want to go all out? And I'm like,
but there you go. Like if you're looking for like that movie, like I said, it's called Night Hunter. If you guys are interested, it's decent at the best. I got it for like $10, so it wasn't too bad. But Runner, let's go on to you. What do you got for your second pick of the night?
Yeah, it's already sold out. Son of a bitch.
I know that sucks.
I should have just got it. I was gonna to. Damn it. All
right. So this movie, I think, I'm not sure if everyone has seen it. It's actually pretty good. I watched it for the first time a few days ago because I just got this on 4K. I think it was released for the first time last week. It's a Warner Brothers release. Tom Cruise is in it and Emily Blunt. Yes, it's Edge of Tomorrow.
I've actually never seen that.
It's actually really fucking good. I think you'd like it.
I've heard people talk about it and say it's really good, but like I said, I've never been a huge fan.
I got the 3D version.
I've never been a huge fan of Tom Cruise, so I've never really like actively sought out that movie. But go on, explain a little bit about it, Runner.
No, it's basically it's a war movie. That basically kind of takes inspiration from Groundhog Day. That's what the movie's all about.
Yeah, I know he's stuck in a repeat, but it's like aliens or something.
Yeah, there's aliens, and you can definitely tell it's like CGI and shit, but like, and some of it's good and some of it's not, but it's like you have a good time with it.
Right.
Tom Cruise is great in it. Emily Blunt's really good too.
You watch Tom Cruise die repeatedly.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean,
that is a big plus in the movie.
Well, maybe I'll check it out. I know Valiant liked it. He talked about picking it up the last time we talked, so he was really into it.
It is popular. I mean, the Steelbook's already sold out at Best Buy, so.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get.
I was just looking now for another one, and I just
oh, look at this, Runner! You didn't get the Steelbook at your Best Buy.
It wasn't there. I don't get this. I don't get all the exclusive shit.
But regardless, fuck your Best Buy.
I get whatever I fucking can. Hey, at least I got the heavy metal Steelbook.
That is still a nice Spielberg, man. I've looked. I can look at that. But yeah, I'll have to check out that Runner. Like I said, I've never been a huge fan of Tom Cruise. I mean, it's weird because I do like certain Tom Cruise movies, but I've never been a huge fan of Tom Cruise.
You know what's a crime? There's still Morbius Steelbooks left. Come on, kids, get on that.
I need to buy that. Actually,
it needs to be sold out.
There are some Steelbooks left at my best.
I've actually seen people starting to. It's like since we're Morbius, it's Morbin time. I've seen people starting to with the monsters. It's Monster in Time.
Oh Jesus!
So no, it's Monster in Time.
Don't expect that movie to be any good in one way or the other.
Exactly.
Morbius is good despite itself, but it's like bad good. That's about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But Runner, you got any final words on that, or you want to move it on?
Not really a whole lot to say about the film. It's really just
without spoiling it. Really,
it's a sci-fi war film that takes inspiration from Groundhog Day.
It's a little bit of a lot of different sci-fi movies put together, mashed into one.
Yeah.
Or stories, whatever.
That would have been cool. See Jared Leto as Eddie Munster.
He's too
pretty. I tell you what, I plan on watching this movie. I really, really do. But yeah, it looks really bad.
Wouldn't be so bad if you didn't cast his fucking wife and everything.
I know. I think he could have keep the guy that's playing Grandpa. That's fine. Recast the other people. It was horrible. But what do you got for us, Tom? What's your second pick of the night?
Oh well, this is an interesting movie. It's a new Steelbook, 4K from the people over at Studio Canal and Lionsgate. It's a movie that I swear I've seen when I was younger, but I guess just watching it, I don't remember any of it. And I'm still trying to decipher my feelings on it, and that's a little bit of a pun with the movie. It's called Angel Heart.
Oh, yes.
And it stars Mickey Rourke and Lisa Bonet and Robert De Niro. And this is, of course, the Lionsgate Steel. So have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen the movie, yeah.
I'm not quite sure if I like it or not.
I know it could be a bit confusing, but once you really understand it, it's
I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's the ending is kind of weird.
Exactly.
It is a good film. And it came out in the era where we had a lot of these movies that were taking place in the bayou, really sexy movies. And of course, this movie is most famous for being cut by a whole 10 seconds to get an R rating by the MPAA.
Yeah.
Because Lisa Bonet's no-nos.
Yeah, I mean, if you was ever a fan of her from The Cosby Show, I mean, you get to see Lisa Bonet all around in that movie.
Because I'm like, when did this come? This had to be before The Cosby Show. And I pick up and looking at the year, I'm like, holy shit, this is in the height of the... Whoa!
Yeah, that's what gets you, is because when she comes on The Cosby Show, you never hear about it. and then when you see this movie, you're like, what the hell? Lisa Bonet's like completely in the role in this.
Not only that, she plays like a 17-year-old on top of it.
Yeah, it's weird.
But no, this is one of like many kind of movies that came out in that era where it was like that voodoo mixed with sexy bayou kind of storytelling, and it's a decent film overall. It takes place in 1955, and Mickey Rourke plays a gumshoe who is hired by Robert De Niro's Louis Cypher. Louis Cypher.
Cypher. I wonder who he could possibly be.
Who is trying to collect something that he's owed by somebody who has seemed to have disappeared off the face of the earth. So he hires Mickey Rourke's character to try and find out what's going on and where he's gone. And of course, his investigation leads him down to Louisiana and deep into the bayou and all the goings on
in the bayou and
and I don't want to get away into it too much because it does have a very Sixth Sense-y kind of twist at the end, and I kind of saw it coming. So that's where I'm also like, I know I've had to have seen this before. Like, so there was just not just that, but it does kind of telegraph itself. But then doing a little bit of research after the fact, Serpent in the Rainbow is another one that came out around that time.
Yeah. That movie's creepy.
The Big Easy was another one, and some other ones like that, kind of where just, the whole southern Louisiana kind of feel to it. I wouldn't be surprised. I know, right? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I kind of remember that there was some controversy about it back in the day when it first came out. Which, let's be real, like, I think, because they don't even specify if the 10 seconds, it's rated R, but it doesn't say because they reinstated those 10 seconds when they put it out on video. But they did two different versions on video. So, and that's the other thing, is I swear I had to have seen it, because I remember Cinemax showing both versions back in the day. Because they would show the R-rated version during the daytime, and then after midnight or whatever, then they'd show the unrated cut.
Right.
So I swear I've seen it before, but I don't remember any of it, except for the twist kind of came to me early on, and then I'm like... But I still enjoyed the film overall. I don't know if I'd give it much more than like a 7 out of 10, though.
You know what it also always kind of reminded me of? A movie later on reminded me of that movie with Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino, The Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, that's a much better film, though.
That's a much better film. But that's what that.
Yeah, they're very similar-esque, but not the same. Like, don't think you figured out this movie just because.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. That movie is I'd give it a watch. It's creepy. It's fun. Well, I don't know if I'd say it's fun, but it is. I do feel like it's creepy. It's entertaining. It's got a decent story to it, and Mickey Rourke and I forgot his name, but they do play great roles in that movie.
Speaking of Mickey Rourke, I almost didn't recognize him at first.
He
I'm so used to seeing him now.
Yeah, that's what Brian Barnes was. What happened to Mickey Rourke? I would say alcohol, drugs, and plastic surgery.
Yeah, because he doesn't sound or look anything like he did when he was younger. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, The Serpent in the Rainbow still gives me creeps. Yeah, I actually can't watch that movie more than once.
This one isn't as... Which is funny, because this movie is billed as a horror movie. I mean, I can kind of see why, but it's not really. To me, I don't understand why it falls into that category. To me, it feels more like a Silence of the Lambs kind of movie.
It does. It does feel a little...
It doesn't quite have the edge of the horror film to it, but I guess I can see why. It's... Yeah.
I've never felt like it was a horror movie, but I always kind of felt like it was... It has like a creep factor to it, but it's not like a horror movie. It's just like sort of unsettling at parts. But it's a good film. Like you said, it is a good film. I remember it. Why I saw it is I rented it from the video store, and because I just saw the cover art and with Mickey Rourke and damn, I can't think of his name tonight. And you just said it,
Robert De Niro.
De Niro. I remember seeing him on the cover, and I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool." And so I rented it. So,
which is funny because a story about De Niro is they wanted him for the lead. And he wasn't interested, but he's like, I'd like to play the Louis Cypher character, though.
Yeah.
So he really boned up on that and got really into it, and yeah.
Yeah.
Even though he's not in the movie all that much, because he even gets a special appearance by kind of credit or whatever, because he really isn't. He's only in the movie like 4 times, I think 3.
Yeah, he's not in a whole lot at all.
Yeah, not a whole lot. The beginning, the middle, and then once before the end, and the end, I think is all he's in it. Yeah.
But if you guys get it, if you've never seen it, I'd say give it a watch.
But he is hovering throughout the movie too. There's that aspect.
Yeah,
he's
got like that.
A very big presence in the film for sure.
Yeah. We got a $4.99 super chat from Marcus. Hey, thank you, Marcus. Appreciate it. It says, "Hi guys, FanZcene, Tom Runner Blaze. Tom, that shirt you're wearing is mad official. Can you show what the other characters are on it?"
I don't know if you can get this anymore. I got it from Shirt Punch. But this is the only one I don't get here. I'm like, why did they put her on here?
Yeah, from The Ring.
There's a half a dozen other characters I could have thought of. Candyman, for instance.
That would have been nice.
Leprechaun, anything, yeah. Otherwise, it's a pretty cool shirt, yeah. It's one of my older ones.
That's cool. And for that, Marcus, you get...
Oh, you're so cool, Brewster. I can't stand it.
But yeah, that's a cool shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, the Bat. Welcome here. And we also, I see we had Heather Preston. We usually don't get too many ladies up in here. So, hi, Heather. Welcome to the show. I guess it's moving on to me. Alrighty. Tom, like you brought out your Shaft TV archive collection. I have an archive collection movie here, and it's I bring this up because you made me want to watch it again, and I have it. But that would be Airborne. Roller skating.
That hasn't been put on Blu-ray yet?
No, it's not put on Blu-ray. This is a made-to-order DVD too. So, brah. Are you calling me a woman's undergarment?
No, brah.
So hopefully it lasts on me.
That's all I really remember from that movie. Seth Green and calling everybody bruh.
Bruh, yeah, and Jack Black and I can't remember the rest of them, but yeah,
Jack Black's in it too.
Yeah. But if this movie is essentially a surfer boy, not a skater boy, from California, who digs the waves, moves to Cincinnati, Ohio, with his cousin Seth Green. I can't remember why. Actually, something happens where his parents
didn't he get in trouble with the law. It's kind of very
I think it's that, or his parents were going somewhere and they needed.
I can't remember now either. It's been so many years since I've seen it.
Yeah. Well, he is a rollerblader too. I did forget about that. Yeah, he is a rollerblader. So he comes there, Cincinnati, which I'll be honest, I've been to all these places that they skate in this movie because it's only about like an hour.
It's basically Rad meets Thrasher.
Yes, Rad meets Thrasher. And it's a 90s movie. So
yes.
Yeah, but I'm basically about an hour and a half away from most of the places in this. And I don't know what they were thinking about Cincinnati being like a hockey city. Because it's not. I mean, they do have the Cyclones, but they're more about the Reds and the Bengals than they are hockey. But yeah, there's like big hockey team, high schoolers. You know, they pick on him because he's the kid from California, brah. And so he has to teach them about rollerblading down hills and
rollerblading
in a competition.
It's uniting them through the power of rollerblading.
Yes. Yes, Devil's Backbone. Yeah, I've been there. That hills are actually not that bad. Yeah.
Sounds to me like they had some deal with the Cyclones to help promote them or some shit. Probably.
Yeah,
that was a big deal always in the 90s, like when they'd run these cross promotions. It's like, oh yeah, come shoot here and this, that, and the other, and they get a big tax break and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the Cyclones are pretty popular. I mean, they're still going strong. They have
the reason they're in that movie is because exactly the reason you just said is they're not nearly as popular as they would have liked to have them to have been. So they built up this thing in the movie that they are this popular. So people are like, oh, well, I got to go see them then.
Yes.
Because they're popular, you know. But this movie didn't help generate anything for that, I'm sure.
No, but it's a fun watch. I enjoy watching it.
Did it even come out in theaters? I can't remember. I think it came straight to video from my recollection, but I couldn't remember.
I remember seeing it on Showtime.
I didn't see it till it hit Cinemax or Showtime.
Yeah, I think I remember watching it mostly on Showtime, so I really don't. I love the fact that like you can't see it, and I don't think you guys can see it, but like the Surfer Boy, it says AC/DC and Danzig on the posters and stuff. So I love the fact that that's there. But yeah, it's a fun movie. If you liked Rad, if you like cheesy, like sports movies that try to be like Rocky, but fall far short from it, I think you'd like this. It's funny. It's got some good funny bits. It's got some before they were famous stars. So yeah, and hockey and rollerblades.
Yes, in the 80s and 90s, this was a genre unto itself, pretty much. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I always remember the Lethal Weapon 3.
You also had like Ski School, Better Off Dead, all these kind of movies where it was basically new person comes in, they got to prove themselves, what have you, and they end up winning in the end, whatever event.
I'm gonna win in the end. But yeah, it's a fun movie. I like it. I enjoyed it. It's funny. It's nothing that set the world on fire. But like I said, like Tom mentioned, those movies are Rad or whatever. If you like that, you'll probably like Airborne.
In that genre, yeah.
Yeah, in that genre. So, Hot Dog the movie.
Yep, Hot Dog the movie, exactly. Same thing.
Yep. But there's that. And yes, that's actually one that I'm surprised there's not a Blu-ray of it. So
yeah, I am too, because I know it has kind of a cult following. Not a huge cult following, but a little one.
Yeah, so Warner Brothers, I think you could probably make some money on a Blu-ray on that. So
that's what I remember getting bigger because it had like Seth Green and Jack Black and some of the other guys in it after the fact. That when it, that blew up after they were, that movie came out. So,
yeah. I think that's why I remember so much of it. Is also with like the Seth Green guy. I think I remember seeing it because he did commercials around here. The Cha-Ching. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did the Cha-Ching for like rallies or something, the restaurant. And I remember that. But yeah.
Yeah, when he was a kid, he started in commercials, and stuff like that. He's in a couple movies and TV movies and shit like that when he was younger, too.
Yep.
He would always pop up here and there. It's like, now I recognize him, of course, but, back then I didn't, but.
Well, Ski School is on Blu-ray, so there really is no excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Dean Cameron again.
Gleaming the Cube is another one that needs a Blu-ray release any day now. Would be nice.
Gleaming the Cube would be nice. That would be a good one.
That was the competitor to Thrashin'. I said Thrasher before. Thrashin'. Meatloaf does the theme song for that. And you cannot find that song anywhere.
That's crazy. You would think that.
I don't think it ever got an official soundtrack release.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he does the theme song. Meatloaf does, and it has a couple other songs in the movie. But like, trying to find them officially, good luck.
You just
I've looked.
Yeah, somebody
especially for Meatloaf stuff. Yeah.
You would think that, with Meatloaf for that, well.
You think it would have been on some collection somewhere at some point, but nope, it's not anywhere on any of his albums, anywhere. I've looked. And I've got like 90% of his albums, if not almost more than that, probably.
That's crazy.
Because I even got some imports and shit and a couple of live albums and stuff like that. He never even did it live on a live album.
Maybe he just didn't like the song. He's like,
it's not a horrible song. It doesn't really even sound like Meatloaf, though. It definitely sounds like something from the 80s. Like it's very, I don't know, and it would fit right on one of those albums in that era of his, because there's a couple albums he did there that just don't sound Meatloafy, but
right.
Anyway,
that's great.
Moving on,
but I've seen parts of Black Dynamite, but I've not seen Cleopatra
Jones.
Yeah. But Runner, you ready for your what are we? Third pick, second, third, third pick,
third.
Third pick.
Yeah, we're already on our third pick tonight. We're just running through these.
Yeah, we're running.
My third pick was Edge of Tomorrow. First one was Temple of Doom. This one's pretty. Well, I watched it for the first time yesterday, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I think Greg probably enjoys this movie way more than I do. That's bullshit. Considering the type of movie this is, you've had to have seen it. You've probably seen this like more than 20 times, I bet, in your life. Maybe even
20 times, maybe 100.
I don't know. We'll see what it is.
I think this is intrigued. I think this is up in Greg's alley.
Is it Jaws?
You said up in your alley.
I don't know how to give this an introduction. It's almost like a ripoff of Star Wars in a sense. Battle
Beyond the Stars.
See, I
haven't seen it 20 times, but I have that.
Be honest, I've not seen that as many times as you would think.
Really?
It's been a long.
Honestly, that movie was tough to find for a while. It was never like re-released on video over and over again or anything.
Oh, I mean, you can get the standard Blu-ray from Shout.
Roger Corman, though.
Yeah.
Shout out Roger Corman.
Yeah, Roger Corman, absolutely. But I mean, I like the movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah. I just watching it, like I'm like thinking the whole time, I'm like, this is definitely like up Greg's alley.
Oh yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah.
It's actually a remake of one of the Kurosawa films I showed before.
Yes.
Really? Which one?
Seven Samurai.
Yep.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
And that score is probably, I don't know. It's one
probably
of the
better Star Wars ripoffs. Or was it before? Yeah, after Star Wars. Yeah.
But, it's definitely a Star Wars ripoff.
Yeah.
James Horner, right? Is that
he did the soundtrack.
He might have, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And I think famously, James Cameron worked on some of the special effects and models in that movie too, if I'm not mistaken.
That explains a lot why a lot of those look pretty decent.
No, but this is like before James Horner did Wrath of Khan and stuff.
Yeah, and I think they even got like a couple of the guys who worked on Star Wars to work on some of those too, if I'm not mistaken. Cool. Can't remember all the names, but like, yeah, I mean, that was one of Corman's bigger films that he put together.
Yeah. It's good. I can't really talk too much about it. I have not seen it in a long time, but did you like it, Runner?
It was decent. I thought it was good. There were a few times where I kind of looked at my phone, but overall it was all right. It was good.
When did you buy this?
I bought it a while ago, back when.
I was going to say the steelbooks starting to get a little harder to find. I think they still got a few copies left.
No, because
I can smell a 4K coming.
Yeah.
Well, no, because like months back, Shout did a steelbook sale.
Oh, so you got it on the steelbook sale?
I got in the steelbook sale. I got it. I got this with Platoon, which already has a 4K release coming out. But I got the steelbook for that.
Yeah, that's why I would say, like Tom said,
I also got.
There's probably a 4K coming out of that.
I also
Battle
got
Beyond the Stars. Go on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Can you hear us? You okay?
You were glitching like a mofo.
Happens. Go on.
I couldn't hear you.
I think that's on your end.
Okay, because you were roboting like crazy.
Am I sounding good, Tom? Am I roboting?
Now you're not.
You're fine on my end.
I think it's coming on your end, Runner.
Okay. Because I couldn't hear most of the shit you were saying. No, like I got a few steelbooks from them when they had a sale, and this was one of them.
That's a good pickup, though. It's a good pickup.
Because I did like the steelbook.
It's a good one. It's all the good.
And that one chick, I forgot the character's name. The one that has like that gray like Rocky helmet.
Yeah, they were selling the action figure with her.
With they were selling the action figure of it. Super hot.
Yeah, I mean Roger Corman. You get into his stuff, Runner. He loved the ladies. He did a lot of movies with the ladies. Very beautiful women. Very beautiful women.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, Runner. I mean, it's a good talk. So let's go on to you, Tom. If you have nothing else to say, Runner, you good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, let's move on to you, Tom.
All right. I started a new journey, this time back into the Sergio Leone trilogy of Westerns, starting with A Fistful of Dollars, which recently got a 4K release from Kino. Yeah, it's a very good film. Tight Western about a guy who comes into town and starts some shit.
No. It's Clint Eastwood. You want to step up, man? Step up.
Well, he just comes into town. He's like, oh, there's this war going on between two factions in the town. Interesting. And he kind of plays both sides on each other, and in the end, helps some people out and walks away with some gold. And yeah, it's a really good film.
I like it.
Great music from Ennio Morricone, and definitely you can see why Clint became Clint Eastwood with movies like this. Of course, this is the first of the Man with No Name trilogy. Even though he has like a couple different names throughout these movies, it seems like, but
yeah, he does, but they never really classify what that name is.
No. Well, he's like, yeah, but he always has that signature hat and green, whatchamacallit, poncho.
Yeah, the poncho.
No, this of course is famously the one that's featured heavily in Back to the Future 2. Mm-hmm. Speaking of.
I was just about to say that. Yep. Bulletproof vest.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. And then we with Tyrell and Brian Bart says it's another Kurosawa remake, and it says A Fistful of Dollars is the official remake of Yojimbo. So,
that is true. Yes. So,
was not the first choice. Who was the first choice of the Man of No Name then? I did not know that. Yeah, but I do like how he carried that the Man with No Name onto his films when he started directing his westerns. It was like still like sort of the same character.
Kind of is, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good one. I like that movie, and yeah, I remember having to watch it because of Back to the Future.
There's people who have the theory that the cowboy he's playing in Unforgiven is just an older version of that. Same character.
That guy. Yeah. Because he specifically has no name in that.
Got nothing to do with it.
I'm sure Tom's got those Once Upon a Time in the West, and
I do have Once Upon a Time in the West. I believe, I don't know if I have it on Blu-ray yet, but I do have the DVD and the America I do on Blu-ray. Yes.
Isn't that stuff from Criterion? Or am I thinking of something else?
Once Upon a Time in America is just a straight up release from Warner or whatever. Once Upon a Time in the West, I'm not sure if that's gotten a Blu-ray release yet or not. I think so, but I just haven't got it.
I've been meaning to get what is it? The High Plains Drifter on 4K. That's one I've been meaning to pick up. I really love that one. That's one of my favorite ones. I know that's not Sergio Leone, but that's one.
No, but it's another one of the quasi Man with No Name ones.
Names, yeah. And Tyrell says, so Runner and Tom had another unintended connection.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah. I'm missing this one, but yeah.
All
the Kurosawa stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Duh. No.
Because it had to do with Kurosawa, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course his name is William Money in Unforgiven, Dan Blackroyd, but like I said, they even give him a couple names so far because I've just started the second film. They call him Joe a couple times in the first movie, and it's like Makeo or something like that is his name in the second film so far.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he went under many names is the whole point.
Yeah. I mean, it's technically he could be anybody really because he does have those multiple names, like you said, yeah.
Oh, first was Henry Fonda. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
James Coburn. Yeah. I can see that. Coburn would have made a really good villain in one of them. Yeah. Coburn's really good as villains. Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched. My dad watches old westerns. He's watched Rawhide. Yeah, I've seen Clint Eastwood
a long time ago, and yeah, that's part of the for those who may not know. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Leo's character is loosely based on an amalgam of Clint Eastwood and
Steve McQueen,
Burt Reynolds, and Steve McQueen. Yeah, all of them. A little bit more of the other two, but Steve McQueen is in the movie, but
yeah. Well, you're right, and also I think a little bit of the Rifleman too.
Well, that was the thing is like Clint and Burt both started on like Western TV shows, and they both went on completely different
I know because my dad watches these. So Burt Reynolds is on Gunsmoke, and it is actually really weird to see him on Gunsmoke. And I could kind of see maybe why they didn't want to keep him around on Gunsmoke, or however it is that he left, because he was basically upstaging Marshall Dillon.
Yeah.
In every episode he was in. It's like, why isn't Burt Reynolds just the hero of the show?
Well, they kept trying to make him Indians and all these other things.
Yeah, he was like an Indian, and it was like, okay.
Yeah, but no, like, so he went on, and so the part that is based on Burt is not just, okay, so they both have similar beginnings, but Burt had a really close relationship with his stuntman, and his stuntman eventually became a director, and he'd been the guy who went on to write Smokey and the Bandit. So Brad Pitt's character is loosely based on Hal Needham, and that relationship, and then the other side of it is going to do the spaghetti westerns. That, of course, is based on Clint Eastwood going to do the spaghetti westerns after his show,
Yeah. Is it? Man, you always make me want to watch that damn movie again.
I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That movie is so
it's so much better every time you watch it too. It's just like it's a fine wine.
I've only seen it twice though, like once in the theater and then like once at home because I watched it with the family.
I've seen it like 4 times now.
It is something like he captured something in that movie that's been missing from movies for quite some time. Like you mentioned, like the last time we talked about it, like Jaws and stuff. Is like when you watch that movie, it feels like it could be in that era of film when people were just love to see movies.
It just sucks you in, right? Yeah. No matter what part it is. Because I've seen it like 6.5 times or altogether maybe, because there's been a few times where I've just, like, I think the last time I was talking about it, like I said, I happened to come into somebody's house and they were in the part where it always ends up being the same part where I come in at, where he picks up the hippies. But you get sucked right into it every time, and it was on TV on Stars or something like that at somebody's house, and I ended up watching the whole last half of the movie.
Yeah,
because it's just one of those things where it just sucks you right in.
It does. It's such a good flick.
Even when it wasn't in 4K, it was on their crappy little TV. And
it's so weird because I know like Tarantino has made so many movies, and I wouldn't have said this, but now I say it's probably my favorite Tarantino film.
I don't know if it's gotten to that point to me yet, but it is definitely my favorite film of that year. Probably the favorite film of the decade so far.
I would have said like Reservoir Dogs or even Pulp Fiction at one point in time, but now I don't know what it is about that movie. I just really thoroughly enjoy it.
I'd say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of his best. I would even say, I mean, Pulp Fiction's probably my favorite. Reservoir Dogs is definitely another one of his best. I'd argue Django Unchained is on his top 5.
I mean, the man's got skills. That is for sure.
Yeah. Kill Bill 1 and 2 are fucking great. I mean, like the ones that I have seen of his are all fucking fantastic, honestly, in their own right.
I guess before we move on to me, the last question from Brian Barth here about the Westerns is, what is the difference between American Westerns and spaghetti?
Spaghetti just means they were made in Italy.
Yeah, that's the only real big difference.
Because Italy had its own film market back then, or like their own film industry, and they would export a lot of films. And they just happened to be the central hub for like Westerns and horror films and a lot of the stuff that they like to fill drive-ins and stuff with at that time. And that's where the whole B-movie thing comes from, is they used to do a lot of double features, so you need another feature to go with it, and it was usually like a lower level tier film, which now would end up being like a straight to video or straight to cable kind of situation, or straight to streaming in this day and age. But it's cheaper to produce. They would haul in actors from all over the world so they could market the movie all over the place. So you'd have like a semi-big actor from like this country and a semi-big actor from another country and a couple of Americans and, stuff like that. And that's kind of where in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that's why Leo's character's reluctant to do it, because it was kind of seen as a step down. But what it did is it kind of reinvigorated guys' careers like Clint Eastwood, right? Like he had never really gotten the shot at the Hollywood movies. He got kind of shafted as being a TV star. And that's the thing, is that was also a strange turning point. Like, if you got to remember at that time, TV and movies hated each other. So if you worked for television, you were basically blacklisted by Hollywood then, right? Unless you were big enough to overcome that kind of a thing. Like that was why there was always this stigma about a TV actor and a film actor.
Yeah,
right?
they didn't want them to.
Well, it was just, you're a fucking, you're a TV actor. You don't get to be in film. That kind of a thing. Me. You're below us, and that's the kind of thing it was. And at the same time, on the other end of it, as a TV actor, you got solid work. So it had its plus and minuses on both ends. But of course, the big money was in movies. But then some people found this as a way to kind of circumvent the Hollywood system to become, movie stars. And Clint Eastwood was luckily one of those. There's a few others that came out of that. There was a lot of Dario Argento movies. Same thing with directors. You had, too. And even Ennio Morricone kind of came out of that stuff. And, is a great composer and all that kind of shit. So, them having their own little film industry. I hate calling it little because it wasn't little. But them having their own film industry to counter what was going on here in America and add more to the culture, I guess, in their own way. And it was just kind of like how Menachem Golan and all those guys later on kind of did the same kind of stuff, but just on different levels and different ways. But it was just a new way of movies coming to America that were not American, but yet felt like they were made by Americans.
Yep. Hit the nail on the head on that. I couldn't explain that better. Okay, I guess we'll move on to me. Let's see here. I got this Blu-ray. Since this is the anniversary of the release of this film was released today, back in 1984. That would be The Never-Ending Story.
Turn around. Look at what you see. I'm going to get his copyright claimed.
As long as you don't go no further than 15 seconds. Why did they
kill the horse, Greg? Why? It traumatized my fucking childhood. Speaking of Justin Proper, where's he at? He fucking hates this movie.
Oh, I love this freaking movie. This movie is freaking awesome.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw it once and I didn't like it.
Oh, I love it.
It's all right.
I think it's a product of.
I don't hate it as much as Justin Proper, but I'm not a big fan of the movie.
Yeah, I get you. I love it. I remember seeing it as a kid. I watched it so many dang times as a kid.
Very high fantasy. Very.
I can see why some people like it. Like, I probably need to rewatch it because I think I saw it when I was in 6th grade.
It was definitely one of those better of those films we got of that era.
And it's a much more like darker film than you actually think of for for kids. So that's why I really liked it.
Fucking horse.
Yeah, that damn horse. No. Trust me, that gets to you. It's sad.
What was I gonna say?
That rock creature was, even though he always kind of scared the crap out of me, even though he was a good guy.
My parent, or I think my mom, got it from the library because she wanted me to watch it or something, and then I did, and I was like, I don't see why you like it so much.
Speaking of 4K movies, though, don't be surprised if we hear about a 4K of Never-Ending Stories.
I was about to ask you about that because I've had this Blu-ray for quite a few years. This came out in 2010.
Which version is that?
This one came out in 2010.
Let me see the cover because there was a newer edition where they had a 4K master. I believe that's the one. Well, maybe it came after that.
This says for the first time in a 5.1 audio.
See, I'm not so sure. That might have been the original release. Because that has actually been released on Blu-ray a couple times now. Because they remastered it in 4K. Release? Yeah, they remastered, and that doesn't have any special features on it, does it?
No.
That is the old release. There is a 4K master. The new special edition comes from the 4K master.
Damn it. Well, like I said, I've had it for a long time because
and the special edition is like the whatever 30th anniversary or whatever. So it would have been 2014 probably, yeah. So a couple years after that one because I had to rebuy it too, and yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it might be another year or two before we get it, but they've been sitting on a 4K master of that for a while.
I'm looking forward to that because I know Runner. I get why you didn't like it. I can totally get that, Tom. I get why you think it's all right.
Do we have any international people in the crowd? Is there differences between the international versions and the American version? I always kind of thought I heard something about that.
Yeah, let's hear about that. I know Dan Blackroyd is
because don't they have different
Australian,
soundtracks and shit like that too, or something like that too? I'm trying to remember. There's something about the international versions compared to the American version when it comes to that movie, unless I'm mistaking it with Legend, which I know that does.
Yeah, and we know what happened with that.
Yeah, but I could have swore this was one of those too. Because I could have swore like they were trying to get like the international version for this movie and they couldn't or something like that. Because Warner doesn't own the movie outright. It's actually owned by a German company.
Yeah, it says
that I know.
Bavaria Studios in Munich.
But they just have the U.S. distribution on it. And I think for that anniversary, they were trying to get the other cut and they couldn't work out a deal or something like that. Somebody please tell me if I'm wrong. But
yeah, I would like to know that myself as well. If there's any differences, any of the international
I think
audience.
It's like just minor things, but yeah.
If you guys, if you're in the chat, if you don't know, if anybody rewatches this and makes it this far in, let us know in the comment section if you have any idea about the differences between the Never Ending Story.
I can't remember if it's this movie or maybe another movie I'm thinking of too. It could be me mixing something else with something else, but yeah.
Yes, but I've enjoyed this movie. It was just something I caught on TV. A matter of fact, I think I probably caught it on the same time I watched Legend, and I always sort of dug sort of dark fantasy type movies. And
of all the fantasy movies that came out in the 80s, that one was probably the biggest of them all, hit wise.
Yes,
like because I mean it had the soundtrack to help kick it.
Mm-hmm.
Labyrinth didn't do nearly as well after that. Dark Crystal didn't do nearly as well before it. Legend was another one that didn't do nearly as well around that same time, similar kind of thing. That movie though happened to rise above the rest, and it was very, very successful. I'm trying to think. There's a couple other ones very similar to that in that era. That
The Last Unicorn, maybe.
Yeah, The Last Unicorn, maybe. But no, there was a lot of movies like that. But I'm trying to think of one that would have been more successful than that one. So that one's kind of the crown jewel of that high fantasy kind of stuff out of the 80s and in that era.
So I look forward to a 4K release of that. Well, like I said, that was released in '84. So. Let's see, we're approaching the.
Yeah, that's what I said. About 2 years would be the 40th anniversary.
I bet 2 years we'll get that 4K.
Yeah, we're far enough into 2022. They'll probably announce it first quarter of next year, maybe in middle of next year.
I mean, we got a lot
early 2024, I'd bet.
A lot of the 1982 movies got 4K releases this year, so
they're scrambling to get a few out yet. But yeah.
Like Poltergeist.
Yeah, Krull is another one they've been sitting on a 4K master for a while. I would love that
because I got that freaking Mill Creek Krull Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's not very good.
I would love to have a better scan, a better quality of that film.
I'm almost positive that's like a 720 up convert or something for cable.
Yeah.
Or from the DVD master.
Let's see, what do we have here? Says on IMDb, it says Neverending Story has a longer German print.
That's what I thought. Okay, because it's a German film, and there is some differences. I thought. Okay.
It's probably a movie I need to rewatch because I haven't seen it in years. I couldn't get. I don't hate it. I just think it's super overrated.
Honestly, Runner, you're not wrong. Like I will agree with you on this. Like even though it's the most successful of all the movies that came out in that era. Labyrinth and Dark Crystal are better, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Like, I mean,
I think Legend's even a little better than
Legend. It's been a while since I've watched that, but I remember Legend probably being a little. It's not the best of them all. It's just kind of the most simple of them all.
It's one of the ones
it's the most like Wizard of Oz.
No,
yeah. It has a very Wizard of Oz-esque feel to it.
I'll be honest with you. I've told some people in our fellowship that I didn't like that movie, and like Culture Casino.
Speaking of, we got Return to Oz in that era too. Sorry, Gunner.
No, but like I told your buddy Tom, Culture Casino, who's my friend, but I haven't talked to him in a while. Back when I like streamed with him a lot, like I told him like I didn't like that movie. I don't know which stream that was, but like we were like talking about movies and shit, and we were talking about movies that we don't like as like unpopular opinions, and that was one of them. I was like, I don't like the Neverending Story, and then he was so fucking mad at me. It was funny.
I like it. Like I said, I like all those movies that Tom mentioned, man. I like Legend, Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, Neverending Story. That's my jam. All those movies are my jams. Like I could watch those movies like along with all my horror movies and superhero flicks. That's like the shit I'm into. So
see, Labyrinth is a movie I have on my list. that I still need to watch, and I feel like I'd like that more, honestly.
Yeah, well, you probably would. You probably would.
Plus David Bowie's in it, so
yeah. But I mean, I can get why you don't. I can get why you don't like Neverending Story, and I do feel like it is a bit overrated. But it's one of my favorites. I remember that's probably the first. Like I said, that or Legend was probably the first two of the fantasy genre like that I saw. That was sort of dark like that, and I just really dug those because like those are the two I always remember the most. So I was really happy to get my Legend Arrow Blu-ray set. That was awesome to have that. So
sad they couldn't do a 4K version of it, which really makes no sense. But I understand what they're saying.
All kinds of things, but yeah.
Like I noticed drops in quality right in a 4K master and a 2K master, no matter what. So I think people are kind of used to that by now. That you could have just upconverted the shit that wasn't 4K scanned.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I think they even said they say they did the 4K scan of Legend. I think they said it is
mastered in 4K, but they didn't want to release it in 4K because they were worried about the quality because the international cut was like from an inner positive or a step away from the inner positive, and they didn't have the original negative anymore. So the main 4K scan was from like another inner positive for the US version or whatever.
Yeah,
and they explained it all to me. I'm still sitting there going, yeah, but we've seen cobbled like I've sat through much different cobbled versions where I would not give a shit. At least why don't we have the theatrical cut in 4K? Like that makes no sense. Like it's same thing with like Dune, right? I understand we're not getting all the other versions in 4K, but give us the, this, that, like they did that at least, right? So
wait, isn't Labyrinth on 4K? Because I could have sworn I've seen it.
Yes, Labyrinth is on 4K. In fact, Labyrinth has been released twice now. We're talking about Legend. Legend, they did a 4K scan, but they only released a 2K version of it, and they came up with some long, elaborate excuse for it. And it was just like, and we've had tons of movies that come from multiple sources. This is nothing new. In fact, when I stand by is one of the best black and white transfers in 4K. Is Wonderful Life, and it comes from multiple different transfers. So actually, I'm like,
I think that's getting a steelbook, another steelbook.
Yeah, it's just that they're just re-releasing it as a steelbook. But yeah, and I recommend getting it. It is one of the best looking. You want to reference quality black and white transfer? That's one of them, because the type of film they used in that era, it just makes that fucker pop. It does. Which like and no other black and white. It's a Wonderful Life. For some reason, they use this. They used to have this film. Back then that had higher silver.
I like that movie.
Had higher silver rate in it, so it made the movie kind of like those movies in that era. If you can get a good print of them, that's why they used to say the movies shine and sparkle, because they literally did.
Yeah, they did.
Because they actually had silver in the film to where it would give you this kind of different look than you get afterwards, and that movie really shows it off in the 4K version, definitely.
Yeah. You're not wrong there, Bogey. I like how VS just does it and tells you to expect a few scenes to drop in quality. Exactly.
Didn't It's a Wonderful Life come out on 4K like sometime last year?
Actually, I think it's been off like 3-4 years ago, but they re-release it like every year in another version.
Oh, okay. Because like I remember seeing it at my Best Buy last year, and I was tempted to get it, but then I just didn't. For
a lot of those movies, if I remember right, Dan Blackroyd, like during the wartime, they actually burnt them up and gathered up because if they burned them up, they would still retain the silver.
Yeah, so they would burn it. Yeah,
they collect. Yeah, then they would collect the silver shavings out of it, and it was like so a lot of those movies got destroyed. Yeah.
Which sucks, but. Hail to Martin Acosta Santana and Hank VP. Welcome to the chat, guys. I see you there. I still have to get. I have not replaced my Blu-ray, but I've been meaning to. So
it blows all the classic 4K of the Universals out the water. It blew Citizen Kane out the water.
Psycho.
It may even look better than Psycho. Because even Psycho, I remember. 4K. I watched it and I'm like, yeah, it looks good, but it's not like a huge. See, that's why for a while I was kind of like, on 4K black and white movies. So I'm like, you really don't seem to get that much. Because the thing is with the resolution, with the color and other film when we got later down the road, black and white is all just contrast mostly. Right. So there's not a lot it needs to produce a good picture. I mean, there's even some older DVDs that have black and white stuff on them that I think look better then they probably should have the right to be.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, so I was never really fully convinced that 4K really added any benefits to black and white until I saw It's a Wonderful Life, and it just was like, holy shit. Because I've seen that movie a million fucking times.
Yeah,
and it was like watching the movie for the first time.
Now, see, I'm definitely going to have to buy that when it comes out.
I've seen the color versions. I've seen the TV versions. I've had the tape over the years. I've had the DVD. I've had the Blu-ray.
I don't like the color versions.
They did one for the Blu-ray a couple of years back that is not horrible.
Really?
It's not the worst of colorized versions, yeah. But no, I still prefer the black and white version now that they did. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'll break down when I buy...
oh, I didn't know that. Dan Black, right? That's cool.
I'll check that out. But when I buy Christmas Vacation on 4K, I'll probably buy It's a Wonderful Life on 4K with the new release they're giving. So yeah,
especially if you can get it for a good price, because I think I paid full price for it the year it came out, and that was way back when.
It's gotten pretty cheap lately, so
yeah, you can get it pretty cheap now.
But that's cool, and check out Never Ending Story, the Never Ending Story. I can't sing, but yeah, check it out. I like it. Runner,
Never Ending Story.
And for the record, I don't hate it. I just think it's overrated.
What do you got for us, Runner, for your final pick of the night?
Okay, this is actually something I love.
Dick. What?
Honestly, before we move on, because we didn't really talk too much about Never Ending Story, we went off on a venture there.
Oh yeah.
I am surprised that Warner did not do the 4K drop of that during the whole Stranger Things 3 when they had that.
That's what I was thinking, because they sing that song was like everywhere after they sung
exactly. I'm like, why didn't they capitalize on that? But anyway, sorry, Runner.
Yeah. Sorry, Runner. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. It was mostly Greg's fault. He interrupted me first.
Well, you're the one that said you liked it.
What? Okay, moving on.
You like that, don't you, bitch?
I guarantee Greg and Tom have probably never seen this show. I love it
so
much. No, you haven't.
I've seen it twice.
I doubt you haven't. Like, Greg, you keep complaining to me, oh, I'm too old for this type of shit. There's no way you've seen this show. There's absolutely no way.
Well, what is it?
But I'll be honest with you. This is the last show in Cartoon Network. Once it stopped airing, Cartoon Network was dead.
Honestly. I got kids, right? So
okay, they have more than likely seen it, depending on how old they are. If they're around my age, probably. They've probably seen this.
What makes you think his kids are as old as that?
Oh yeah, I've seen the regular show. I've seen that show. I've seen the movie. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. My nephew, who lives with me, I hit Tom's there. Sorry. Yeah, he watched that show regularly, all the time. Regular show.
I fucking love the
Flapjack and something. Yeah, he watched that shit all the time.
Yeah, I didn't know you watched. I didn't know you did.
No, I mean,
my kid used to watch it, but I never knew what the hell it was. I didn't get it.
It wasn't like I actively sought it out, but my nephew would watch that all the time.
This is the last good show on Cartoon Network.
That's what I hear. Honestly, that's what I hear from
after
kids.
after the last season ended, it's just Cartoon Network just died because it was all they had were a bunch of CalArts bullshit, and it's just bad. Okay, Brian Barth, that is the best description of it. It's a stoner kid show. That is a perfect way to describe it.
Yeah, I've seen most of it.
But yeah,
it's funny. It's got its moments.
But Brian Barth knows what's up. Regular show, that's the shit. I love that show. Me too, man. I started rewatching some of the episodes, especially from season 1 and season 2. My fucking god.
Hey, you got Brian Barth is on your side. Like I said, I have seen it.
Adventure Time is another one of those shows that I really did enjoy. I didn't like it as much as Regular Show though. Regular Show is it is my childhood. I'm sorry.
My favorite one, my nephew and them always watched was Courage the Cowardly Dog. That was one I dug.
I've seen some of it, and the Teen Titans cartoon was always great, but it was never they didn't air a whole lot of reruns back when I watched it. I think I just watched them like online and shit. But like,
is that one of the ones you bought at the convention there?
This?
Yeah, the regular show.
Yeah, you can't get all the seasons on Blu-ray. Like you can only like I think because Warner Brothers owns Cartoon Network and stuff. Like they only released like one box set of season 1 and season 2 on Blu-ray, but like there are certain packs you can get on DVD. Like there's one called a starter pack, there's one called a Mordecai pack, and like a Rigby pack.
You
There's
want to know something about that? That's which you won't find on that is it was on YouTube. The guy that created this show,
JG Quintel.
Yeah, he's got actually what inspired that show. It was a thing he put online. You can watch it. It's got cussing and everything in it. It's got cussing and everything.
I know what you're talking about. It's Mordecai and Benson. They work at a gas station.
Yeah.
And they're like, I saw that. I laughed my fucking ass off when I saw that. I was like, holy shit.
If it wasn't for my nephew, I wouldn't know that. But yeah, he loved that show.
No, I think I saw that for the first time. I think around like I had to have been in like middle school or something. The end of like 8th grade at least. When I saw that, I laughed my fucking ass off. It's like, god damn. I mean here's the beauty about this show though. The best thing about this show is like like anybody can watch this show, like in any age, and anybody would laugh their ass off. Like I've had to explain this.
Well, that's back in the days when they made shows for kids, they put in jokes for adults. Nowadays, it's all to gear kids to
exactly. And I've had I hung out with like my friends I think like last week, and we had this argument. I think it might have been 2 weeks ago, but we had this argument about the ways like cartoons have transitioned. It's like I keep telling him like, dude, like when you look at these shows now, like who honestly gives a shit? It's the same with toys. Like no one's buying toys anymore. It's mostly adults buying that shit. But like cartoons, it's like you look at the shit that Cartoon Network has now, plus like escape the whole pandering shit and all that they've done. Like, but that's definitely a part of it. Like a ton of the new stuff we get is like lazy Cal Arts shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean, and I do know that David Zaslav fired a lot of the animators for Cartoon Network. So
good.
It's not technically all good because it's mostly they're not going to make much more new stuff.
No, that's good because those shows, like the latest ones, like those are the reasons why like people just tapped out, because like, you know, like this was like the last good thing to come out.
That's what people say. Like I said, my nephew, I can't say I've seen all of that, but I've seen most of that in the movie and stuff because my nephew loved it. So
when I was in I think like sophomore year of high school, I binge watched all of the episodes. My God, like it was so fucking good. But yeah, I mean, especially the older episodes. The older episodes are fucking fantastic. Like I made this example to my friend. Like the reason this show is so great is like I forget what the episode's called, but they try to beat this boss battle in a video game called The Hammer. Mordecai and Rigby, they try to beat the boss, but then they try to get everyone else from the park that works there. Mm-hmm. And then they try to find oh fuck. I kind of forgot what happens, but like at some point they build the set and the hammer is like it comes to life at one point. And Muscle Man, that's the green dude. You probably know who I'm talking about, Greg.
I know who Muscle Man is, yeah.
Yeah, the one with the big titties. Yeah, so so he's like, "Oh, look guys, the hammer's real." And then like the hammer like uppercuts him Yeah, Rage Against the TV. That's what it's called. Brian Bart the Hammer comes alive. Yeah, and they have to beat him with the yes. Oh my god, like man, the nostalgia, dude. It's real. But no, so like there like there's a joke in it where like he punches Muscle Man and the physics, like it's weird. It's like the physics makes his tits like hit his face.
You're easily amused, Runner. You're easily amused.
No, but like okay, but like the point of that is like you see that happen, right? You see his tits flap on his face, and they literally it hits his eyes. Is the joke, and it's like kids and adults can laugh at that shit.
Yeah.
It's like that's like it's like, you know, it's balanced. You know what I mean? Like it's
at that back in time, at a certain point in time, yeah.
Plus, like I even like rewatched one episode where maybe you've seen it before because like they take a lot of inspiration from Evil Dead with one episode in particular. Hell, J.G. Quintel even takes inspiration from John Carpenter a few times in some episodes.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But like there was one episode, what is it? They show a movie. They show it in 3D. It's a zombie flick in a graveyard. I'm not sure if you saw that episode, Greg.
I don't think I have, no.
Okay. Like that episode I think you would like a lot. Just because of the whole, you know, movie thing, the horror element to it. They all watch a horror movie. Gravesite, that's what it is. Brian Barth, like this dude knows more about the show.
I tell you, he's the one in the chat that's dropping everything. So you and him would get on this one, no problem.
The Gravesite episode, like the guy, like the star of the movie, literally looks like Bruce Campbell, and talks like Bruce Campbell, like literally like. And I didn't know who Bruce Campbell was at the time, but since I rewatched the episode, I was like, "Fuck, it's Bruce Campbell." I don't think they didn't get Bruce Campbell to voice the character because it sounds nothing like him, but it looks like Ash from the Evil Dead movies. But it's just it looks like Ash in a George A. Romero zombie movie, pretty much. Is what the movie is. Zompocalypse 3D is what the movie is called. And they show it in a graveyard. And Rigby, who's kind of a dumbass. Honestly, like Rigby is me, honestly. like anyone who tries to compare me to him, like I understand. And I don't take any offense to that because I love that character. But like he kind of fucks up the projector at one point, and him fucking up the projector like raises all of these zombies like from the grave, and they all have to fight him with Muscle Man's sports equipment and shit. And it's just a bunch of track gear, which is freaking great.
Well, but at least you got to.
No, but there's so many great episodes in this. There's a fortune teller. Brian Barth knows what I'm talking about. It's a fortune teller one where Benson gets good luck in one fortune all the time, and Rigby gets bad luck, so he switches the fortune to his, and Benson gets the bad luck, and Rigby gets good luck. It's so good. It's just one of those, dude. Excellent. That's not the episode. Yeah, fortune cookie. Excellent is also a good one.
All right. Now you've taken a trip through your childhood. Let's go on to Tom. What do you got for us?
Well, for my last film
your
tonight.
Final pick, yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Mark Hamill voices a character in the show. Forgot to say that.
There you go. I try to do a fun one every week.
Mm-hmm.
When we were kids, we'd go through the movie store, or we'd see a trailer before another movie that we'd be like, we got to find that. So we go on a quest and we find it and whatever. And there were times where, of course, we're used to movies not quite living up to the cover, right? Like that's kind of part of the exchange, right? That's kind of part of the, it's all part of the game, let's say. But once in a while, sometimes you get a movie that's so bad and so misrepresented that it can't even be in that so good it's bad kind of realm, and it's just one of those, you fucking ripped me off, you dirty bastards kind of movies.
Right.
And, Ghastlies was kind of one of those. So we got another one this week. In the era of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, there was, of course, no shortage of rip-offs or wannabe type films like that. There was, of course, Cool World, and I can't remember. I think there was at least a couple other ones. But one that kind of was under the radar in a straight-to-video movie come from the director of such cult classics as Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
Oh, I know what movie you're talking about.
And this movie is Evil Toons.
Yeah, Evil Toons. I knew you was getting... Go on, man.
I see that face.
Not only is the name a misrepresentation, there's only one toon in the whole movie. So there's not plural toons. As you see here, that one cartoon, he's literally in the movie for no more than a minute and a half, 2 at most. And if you watch the trailer, you can see why this movie would have tricked you as a kid, because they basically show you almost everything that this cartoon character is in the movie in the trailer. And outside of that, it's just basically an excuse to show porn stars getting naked. David Carradine isn't too bad in it, but outside of that, it's a very bad fucking movie.
Believe it or not, nudity doesn't always solve everything in the movie.
No. Not in the least. And it's basically a ripoff of Evil Dead. It's not even clever. It was shot on a set that was for another movie, so it was just one of those situations where the director,
Fred Olen
Ray, yes, thank you, had the opportunity and used this. And really, it's just a sad excuse to cash in on the whole Roger Rabbit craze of that era. I mean, and this even comes late in the game, too, from my recollection here. I think it's like 93, 94 when this came out or something like that. It's not the worst film quality, but if I'd have rented this as a kid, I'd have felt very, very ripped off. And no, even then, nudity wouldn't have solved it. But Dan Blackroyd, I didn't find it fantastic cheese at all. Cosmic Squirrel, I found it very. I did. I felt ripped off. Maybe even more so than Ghastlies. At least Ghastlies gave me plenty of Ghastlies. Like, literally, you get to see the cartoon for not even 2 minutes, and then it goes into this other chick, and it's in the chick through the rest of the movie.
Oh, they use it. Yeah, that's right. They use that little whole possession type thing.
Yeah. So, to me, it was just... I mean, yeah, it doesn't fall into that bad enough category to even be bad enough it's a good kind of thing, because it's not even cheesy fun to me. Cosmic Squirrel, to me, it was just bad. I mean, we can watch the trailer if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, if I don't think...
It seems to be kind of our thing here.
I don't think it's get me clean.
Who knows?
I don't think so. If not, I'll clip it out. A big deal. But, I mean, I like the actress Michelle Bauer.
Have you seen it or no?
I've seen... vaguely remember most of it.
If she's the one actress in the movie, then she's probably the only good actress in the movie.
Yeah, Michelle Bauer, she's probably the tallest chick in the movie. Dick Miller.
Yeah, Dick Miller has a cameo. I guess it's a little bit more than a cameo. But it's just a overall bad movie.
I could see why you'd be let down, especially because like you were expecting more like maybe a little Cool World-esque type Roger Rabbit, a little bit more
thing. Adult, kind of like even. Well, I mean, I had no like. The trailer doesn't really kind of. Here, I'll just show you the trailer because I think this is the same trailer I saw. So here we go.
They came just for the weekend.
Yeah.
Clean up the house real good for the new owners. I'd pick you up Monday morning and you each get $100.
That's why it's pretty good for that.
This house has a long history of mayhem and madness.
Just might last a lifetime. Because this house is not a home.
Delivery.
Sure.
And the place is really coming to life.
Something funny's going on there.
He's got a taste for the good life.
Remember the drawing of the beast? It's gone.
And he's on a quest for flesh.
That's pretty much all you see of
Every
the
door leads to another dimension.
You stop with the freaking beast? This is reality.
Every step forward is a step backward.
I've come to destroy you.
And every room is a room with a view.
Don't do that! You looking for trouble?
This place.
We're figuring that out.
There's no telling who will drop in.
This place is so spooky.
Or who will drop dead. David Carradine, Artie Johnson, and the girls.
And the girls.
You kids don't enjoy a good cartoon.
Evil Twins. It's a scream.
I mean, it pretty much gives away most of the movie anyway,
That's,
but that makes it look more like a better movie than it is. Trust me.
I was gonna say that trailer is like
That trailer really sells.
Don't
you
let
on
that
it,
fool you. It's horrible. It is horrible. It is
Okay.
tedious to watch.
I was gonna say that trailer is too good for what you're actually saying about the movie. Because I'll be honest with you, like the half nudity shots of the chicks, it's probably what saved that trailer.
It doesn't help the movie though, because like that one scene where the chick's dancing, she literally stands up and she goes, "You want to see what I did to seduce my boyfriend last week?" And we literally, and yeah, so it's like I might as well just watch fucking porn. It's like she just sits there dancing and stripping and shit like that, and it's like, okay, we're wasting 2 minutes of the movie on this. I mean, that trailer sells you a completely different bill of goods than what you get.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but that's classic Fred Olin Ray right there for you. Sometimes he just likes to throw in the nudity.
You might enjoy it better after my review, but
I get you. It's been, like I said, it's been you guys. It's been so long since I've seen stuff like that. I liked Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. I thought that was a great movie. But yeah, that looks like it might not quite be as good as it's portrayed. Yeah, I could totally see that. Yeah. I get you, Tom. I get you.
no, that's literally all you saw in that trailer of the cartoon. That's like 90% of what he's in the movie. He attacks that chick and then he takes over her body, and then he's in her body the rest of the movie.
That's all the money they had to animate him over the movie.
And some of the shit don't even make sense. Like, you can't tell if David Carradine's supposed to be a bad guy or a good guy half the time. And yeah, I mean, Dick Miller is okay in it. The Artie Johnson is okay in it. I mean, but you kind of they gave away his twist in the trailer there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you notice they don't really give you any of the girls acting. Not much of that in the trailer. There's a reason for that. Because the only one that can act is the one that you mentioned, the taller one.
The Michelle Bauer.
Yeah, and she basically plays like a nerdy chick who's all introverted and shit, yeah.
She's a Scream queen legend, so...
Yeah, I mean, they even have a scene where she just stands there and looks at herself in the mirror naked for like fucking a whole minute, right? Like... And the movie barely runs 80 minutes. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's padded as fuck. It is like, and it doesn't really play much with the elements of it. It's trying too hard to be the cheesy bad. Like, it almost falls into Sharknado territory in that respect.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's almost too aware of that, and it's like, it feels like a ripoff. They don't even spread out the cartoon through. Like, I wouldn't have felt so ripped off. But like the cartoon is literally in like one small section, and then from there on out, you don't see it again. And you've seen all the scenes that it's in. It's like basically one scene in the trailer. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because they even kind of look like they repeated in the trailer some of the stuff that was.
They did that one shot they show twice in the trailer.
Yeah. So I get you. I feel you.
And they make the mistake of letting you know exactly how much. I can't remember now, but like when I was watching the special features, they have the animation plates without the animation. And it's literally like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes of footage. Not even. So they have the plates without the animation. So that's all the animation that's in the movie. You're like, wow. It even feels like less than. You're like, Jesus, they really did rip you off.
Like I said, that's probably all of the money they had for the animation, so they just like.
I mean, at least with Cool World, you can feel like that movie was put together with bubble gum and tape. I mean, it really does feel like they spread that budget as far as they could in Cool World. Here, no. It feels like it's a raunchy mess. Some of the boobs are worth it, don't get me wrong, but it's not worth the time and the effort.
Like I said, I mean, I'm a fan of nudity in movies and stuff, but sometimes I know it may seem like it, but sometimes nudity really does not help the movie. I mean, because that's like really all you're watching. It's like, that's a great part. I love that. That's good scene, but the rest of the movie I just can't get into.
Hey, that's not what Dan Blackwood says. He says nudity helps all the time, according to him.
Oh, man, I've had a cough this week. It sucks. But yeah, I was thinking actually about picking that up. I may hold off on that now.
Yeah, if you can find it for dirt cheap, I would. But I think I paid like $15 for it, and I'm feeling ripped off.
Oh man!
And it's not like I mean, it's a decent enough looking transfer, I guess, but it's not.
It smells everything.
It's not really worth the film it was printed on. Let's be
the boobs, flesh boobs. I think you would have liked Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers better.
Maybe.
That's a good one.
But I mean, they even boasted on the back here is Roger Rabbit meets Evil Dead, but no, they have no images from the movie on the back at all.
It's Roger Rabbit meets Evil Dead, but I can't. There's nothing on it to show that.
Yeah, and I mean the cover doesn't really give you much either, and yeah, it's just kind of. I was disappointed. I was hoping for something fun.
I feel you. I hate when that happens because I've bought movies like that too, where it's like
I try, kids, and unless it's something I've seen before, I can't guarantee we're gonna get gloriousness out of it. But I try just about every week to bring you some glory.
I guess we'll move on.
He said glory.
He said glory. Oh, I guess we'll move on to mine. Mine's a 80s horror. Yeah, an 80s horror one. This one needs a Blu-ray. I actually brought the Blu-ray of the first movie because this is a sequel a while back. But The Stepfather Part 2. This is from Synapse Films. I don't know why this doesn't have a Blu-ray, but I would like a Blu-ray of this. And this one's not bad. It's got Mick Foster in it.
Those are horror movies that always slipped past me. Never seen them. I mean, I've seen trailers for them, and I know they remade it. Like what?
Yeah, in like the early 2000s when they were remaking everything. Yeah, the first two Stepfathers are great flicks. Terry O'Quinn is actually really good in it. The first one is much more serious. It's much more like an actual like based on it because it's based on.
I was gonna say, isn't the first one based on a true story?
The first one's based on The first one's based on a true story, so it's much more like a movie. You know what I mean? They're not really gory or anything like that, but it's much like the first one is based on I can't remember the guy.
I remember they were kind of like glorified TV movies anyway.
Yeah, they're sort of. I would say they're sort of like TV movies, but I enjoy them. But yeah, that first one is essentially like based on I can't remember the guy's name. Is he killed his family? He walked out, and nobody could find him for years and years and years and years, and once they finally did find him, he had another family, and he was actually on the verge of getting ready to kill them and walk out before they caught him. So they finally caught him and stopped him before that. So yeah, that's sort of where the idea came from because the stepfather, Terry Quinn, he wants the perfect, like, Leave It to Beaver type family where father knows best, like that. And if you disappoint him, you're not making the cut. So goodbye. And so he keeps moving on. And then the first one, as like I said, is much more serious. And the second one is where they get into like the full-blown 80s slasher type film.
Well, didn't the sequels go straight to like video and HBO?
The third one went straight to Showtime. And it's not even Terry O'Quinn. It's a different actor. He supposedly got plastic surgery. So he couldn't figure him out.
I remember seeing them all the time, but I never actually watched them kind of thing.
I think you might enjoy at least the first one. I enjoy the first two.
I remember the trailer for the second one always being on HBO or Showtime or whatever, because I know that one goes like into cheesy territory.
Yeah, it goes into like.
Doesn't it even have like a scene where it makes fun of The Shining or some shit like that, or?
Possibly.
With the whole busting through the door thing, I can't remember.
Oh yeah, near the end went the wedding.
Yeah, okay, yeah. See, that's the part that sticks out to me from the trailer.
the second one, and like there's some stuff behind that with the second one as well, because they actually reshot the murder scenes to make it more cheesy and stuff, to make it more like gory like things, and like you can tell in certain spots because it's not Terry O'Quinn, it's just like somebody's arm, you know, where it's supposed to be him. So they went into so they go after the movie was finished, they went back and refilmed some stuff to make it more like 80s slasherish type movie, whereas the first one was what's a little more serious, a little more true life, like could have almost, if done right, could have almost made an Oscar type film. But yeah, I enjoyed the first two films. The second one gets good and cheesy and gory. It's Terry O'Quinn is actually pretty damn good in both films. So if you haven't seen them, check them out. Excuse me, I got a cough.
Wow, Greg is coughing.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I've actually been sick this week. I got sick.
When have you not been sick this year, man?
I don't know what it is. It's pissing me off because I usually get sick like once a month, once a year, and it's usually in the winter.
It's not the COVIDs, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not that.
He's got the COVIDs.
People always say that. It's like when you tell me you're like around here.
It's the monkeypox.
Yeah, I got. You're sick. Is it? I'm like, there's other sicknesses other than that going around, right?
It's the monkeypox. I know.
Normal, regular ones.
No, I know. I obviously know there's other sicknesses. I'm just joking.
We got chicken pox. We got monkeypox. At least those sound cute. We know we're fucked when we get to shit like shark pox, lion pox, tiger pox. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Shit. When there's shark pox, you better get that shark repellent spray.
Yeah, bat pox. Like, what the fuck?
Crap, the bat repellent spray.
Well, bat pox.
That sounds even worse.
Good night, Brian.
Yeah, basically, it's COVIDs. You're right.
Good night, Burt. Have a good night. Thank you
got
for
the bat pox.
But no, yeah, I don't know what it is. It's really weird because I usually only honest to good. Godness, good, whatever you want to say.
That's what Jack Black got in Tropic Thunder.
I typically only get sick like once a year, and it's usually around January. But this year I've had it like 3 or 4 times, and I'm just getting sick and tired of it. Don't be.
Good night, Dalton. Yeah, thanks, man. Good night, and good night to Brian Parth.
All right, so I think that was I think that was it. So any final words? We'll close it out, guys. Any final words?
Kumquat.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Tacos and burritos, baby.
Wow, he's got all the sounds.
Hell yeah.
This sucks. Damn it, Beavis.
And then, of course, the creme de la creme.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What the hell is that from again?
That's Mr. Slave.
Yeah, South Park.
Jesus Christ.
From what?
South Park.
South Park.
Oh.
It's Mr. Slave. Mr. Slave slowly became like one of my favorite characters.
That sounds familiar.
My favorite episode is when he has to prove he's a bigger slut than Paris Hilton.
And
he literally puts her up his ass.
I haven't seen a lot of South Park, just letting you know.
Oh, dude, you're missing out, man.
You would probably really enjoy it.
Dude, I bought the bootleg version of like most of the South Park episodes. Or almost all
I
of
did
them.
see that.
I don't know why you would. There's very decent versions out there of the Blu-rays, but okay.
Well, I know, but the Blu-rays are like super fucking expensive to get.
If you go do the, they have like different sets where they have like 5 seasons in a set. You can get them for like dirt cheap, and you can put together like the whole
Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Really?
I have like the first 10 seasons in the 2 box sets or whatever, and I paid less for those 2 box sets than I did for like 2 or 1 of the seasons on its own, because every other season after that I've had to buy on its own, and yeah, because they were slow to get. They just finally put the box set out of like season 11 through 15, and I think they got 15 through 20 out now, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
fuck you, Dan Blackroy. They don't sell that shit.
Yeah, they used to.
Yeah, they did. They used to.
I bet they did, but that's probably what I didn't shop in Best Buy at the time, because you know I got to keep it straight. Like I got into physical media more like after I graduated high school, because I got I got a shit ton of money as a graduation gift, and I'm just gonna spend it on physical media because of all the shit that they might get rid of, you know.
Well, and then plus as you get later down the seasons, they have less episodes, so like the later seasons are cheaper than the other ones.
Oh, really?
So,
the newer ones.
Like this newest one coming out, I think is only $15. I think because it only has the 2 specials or whatever, and 2 COVID specials and
I'll be
last season.
I'll be right back.
Which was only like 6 episodes, I think.
But yeah, we're
gonna run anyway. So check out Runner's channel.
We'll go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys once again. Hello to everybody in the chat for hanging with us, and it is that time of night. So,
how you doing? Bitches leave.